welcome back. I'm Alan Walker of Udder, and I'm here at IHR Live in Manchester, meeting a bunch of folk from across the recruitment industry, understanding what they're doing to improve either hiring in their businesses, for their clients, or for the wider industry. And I'm delighted to have my long-time friend, Jared Massey from Hudson RPO with me. Jared, good to see you again. So for those that might not have met you or might not know you, can you do a quick intro as to who you are, what you do, and maybe a little bit about Hudson RPO as well?
Yes, so my name is Jared Massey. I've been in recruitment for donkey's years, usual, done agency, done in-house and done RPO. I work for Hudson RPO in operations, and therefore I oversee various in-house recruitment solutions across EMEA.
Okay, that's interesting. And what does an event like this, what appeal does it hold for you?
So what it does for me, well, one thing which I'm really enjoying today is just seeing people out and about after everything that's gone on.
Yeah, of course.
So seeing so many people who are really up for hearing about what's going on in the market, what technology's out there, and listening to really good speakers. I think that's phenomenal. And I'm really enjoying that. I suppose the other things why I've done these things in the past is technology changes all the time, so you want to hear what they're doing. It's best to come to an event where they're all in one place, but also to speak to really honest and inspirational speakers who can give you examples of what's going on in their world.
Excellent. So tell me a little bit more about what your operations role means at Hudson RPO. Is that leading a number of kind of delivery teams, or is it looking at internal ops? Or
yeah, very much. If you look at the structure, I tend to manage managers, and those managers are branded as a client, and they will have a team underneath them, and they're all there just to run the whole or part of a company's in-house recruitment function.
Right, okay, excellent. And you said you've got a passion for technology, which I already knew anyway. What kind of tech gets you excited nowadays? Because you've been to these events for years, and you can get sometimes to the point of like, I've seen this before. What gets you kind of inspired and motivated?
Yeah, I think you've got to be careful with technology that you don't overuse it. I'm always a great believer that there needs to be a human element, but more and more in a recruiter's job, there seems to be more and more which is expected of them. So I'm always interested in technology which will make their lives easier and automate things without taking away from that personal element that candidates need, that the client needs, etc., etc. Just the sort of things that recruiters can concentrate on what they do best, which is partnering with a business, finding really good candidates, and making sure that the business as a whole is a success.
So in essence, kind of focusing on the humans doing the stuff the humans are good at, and letting the machines pick up the heavy lifting.
Yes, because there's more and more of the heavy lifting. It seems to be worse and worse every year with regards to that.
What kind of challenges typically do you have to solve at Hudson RPO that technology might be able to help with?
Various things really. Automation to make things quicker, but it's not just about speed, it's got to be better as well. We look at mobilisation. The market has been the worst it's ever been for finding talent, so you need technology to help you with that. But likewise, as a recruitment function, that has impacted us as well. It's not as easy for us to find recruiters.
Exactly.
And likewise, attrition's been a little bit higher, even though I'm a great believer in treat our people really well. So, you need things to help you deal with those situations, not just for the client, but in-house as well.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess more of your processes that you can automate gives you more flexibility at the other end to probably be a bit more picky about who you hire as well.
And be able to, again, an RPO, one of its strengths is that it can flex up and down quite well. But that's been more difficult than ever, and so you need technology to help you flex.
Which can also do the flex, absolutely. And do you think anything's going to change around that demand for talent? Because we keep hearing stuff about potential recession, dare I say it, and all that stuff that's coming. Are you feeling any of that yet, or is it still crazy busy?
It's still crazy busy. I think most of the sectors, the attrition's going down slightly.
Okay. Yeah.
Because there isn't that sort of headhunt, constant. But it is still very busy. What will happen in the future? I think it's very hard to tell.
Yeah.
You know, you make predictions all the time, and you start to make decisions. I think that's a bit unwise. I think you just absolutely keep an eye on it. Always have backup plans, but you know, don't overthink it.
It's interesting. I read something about Facebook putting a freeze on hiring this week.
Wow.
As well as a couple of other big tech companies as well. And I guess they possibly feel the pinch a bit earlier because people still need food, don't they? They still need goods. They still need things to live their day-to-day life, which is where the impact will probably be felt less or last anyway.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that those big companies with huge pockets are suddenly going, no, we're just going to stop hiring. But I wonder whether it's also partly because when they are hiring, they're having to pay crazy salaries, aren't they, in that world? You hear about horror stories about suddenly people getting double their previous salary and demanding it and getting it.
Yeah, no, and to be in all honesty with you, you know how honest and brutal I can be as a northerner, but I think that is the craziest thing that happened post-COVID was the silly salaries being bandied around and ultimately people being tempted by those salaries, knowing that at some point it's not sustainable. These companies can't keep paying those salaries because, you know, it has an impact on, well, what are all other sectors paying, and, you know, the total
and the
profit
cost of their services, the cost of their goods, etc., and that will then drive inflation anyway, won't it?
So I think what may happen is some of the companies who did go hard that way are probably going to be the first companies to now be wary about what may happen and start making redundancies, etc.
Absolutely. I remember when we first started coming out of COVID, the number of recruiters who were shouting about crazy roles that they picked up. And interestingly, even recently I spoke to a recruitment manager a couple of months back who said that they'd hired somebody into a really junior recruiter role. It's their first ever recruitment job, and they were in it for 4 weeks before somebody had counter-offered them with a 50% uplift on their salary. It's bonkers.
Well, it is crazy, and it's always happened, but never to this extent, and it just can't continue. I'm absolutely not demeaning the role of recruiters because it is a hard job and all the rest of it.
Well, we've both been there, haven't we? Yeah.
But they're not saving lives. So, you know, for some of the money being bandied around, I just think it's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, Jared, before we go, one thing I wanted to ask you: who are you looking forward to seeing here at the event?
I must admit, I'm looking forward to seeing some of the vendors. I've got a couple in mind that I really want to see what they can do to partner with us.
Yeah.
I just want to see recruiters
soak it up
and soak it all up and see how they're getting on and what they're doing, and of course I wanted to see you.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, mate. Good to see you again.
See you later.
Take care.
Bye.
Cheers.